For those of you who missed it, we had some great K-12 students reading and performing, and then we had a wonderful performance by the Ridgeline Ukulele Extravaganza. So it's been a wonderful afternoon. We're going to get back to some of our regular poetry readings now. And first up, I'd like to get some business out of the way, if I can find my paperwork here. We have some sponsors who have really helped to make the Poetry Stage happen this year, so I want to thank a few of them. Killer Burger, Barnes & Noble, Hot Mama's Wings, Mezza Lane Forest Products, Full City Coffee, Tsunami Books, Capella Market, Baja Fresh, New Zone Gallery, Sweet Life, Starbucks, Trader Joe's, and the Bijou Metro. They all helped to make this event possible this year, so I just wanted to, give an announcement to them. It's been a long weekend. I'm having a little tiredness going on in my energy now, but it's winding down. It's been a wonderful event. We've all had a great time here, and I'm glad, for those of you who've been here throughout the weekend, I'm glad you could join us. Last order of business is we are having a raffle. It's a donation raffle to support a wonderful local cause, OSLP Arts and Culture Program. They bring arts and culture to disabled people in our community, and it's a wonderful program. The donation raffle means any donation will get you a raffle ticket. There's some great prizes to be won. We're going to have multiple drawings at the end of the day with multiple prizes in each drawing. And you do not have to be present to win. If you fill out the form completely, you will be notified that you've won. So donate something and help a wonderful local cause. The prize list is over there. You can see what you could win. And thanks for that. So on to our next featured reader today. And that is Joan Dobbie. Joan, you didn't send me a bio. Okay, so I asked my boss to send me a bio, but...
I did, I sent it this morning.
Oh, perfect. Well, that's where I've been all day. All right, anyway, Joan can tell you a little bit about herself if she likes. But please welcome Joan. Joan is a wonderful local poet who's done some great events herself, and she has a reading that she hosts here in town. Maybe she'll tell you a little bit about that. So, Joan Dobbie.
Oh. Yeah, a little lower.
Oh, okay, he's gonna.
I don't know if
Right here? Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, okay. My name is Joan, and if you read Stephen's emails, then you can get my bio. But the most important thing about me right now, two things are important, I guess. One is I just brought some books for sale, 2 books of a poetry novel I wrote. And the other thing is on September 27th at River Road Annex, there will be a poetry reading from 4:30 to 6, and in it will be Quinton Hallett and Nancy Carroll Moody and Janice, I forget her last name, but 3 wonderful local poets. So, and good food too. So it'll be fun. And it's 1055 River Road, and if you take buses, you can get off. It's the next stop after Park, River Road and Park Avenue. And you take the 51 or 52 bus.
when was that?
It's going to be on Sunday. It's always the 4th Sunday of every month.
Oh,
So
okay.
Sunday, September 27th, I believe. And, okay, poems. The first poem I'm going to read for you, I wrote a long, long time ago when my daughter, who is now 45, was then 13. And I have to send it to her. It's newly published for the second time. It's called The Sweater. The Sweater. And this is a picture I found online to go with it. The Sweater. It happened one night when I flipped shut my eyes that my daughter, 13, grew up into my size. And fool that I was, I loaned her my sweater. I hear you all mutter, you should have known better, but I was brand new at this, hadn't yet got the flair. So when she sighed at me, I've got nothing to wear, I said, okay, honey, but after you've worn it, just fold it up neatly and put it back in my drawer, so it looks just exactly like it looked before. She flashed, thank you, Mom, you're really a dear. and snapped it up sweetly and returned to her mirror. The first day she wore it, its smile started to change. By the second day, its hair was rearranged, with a bald streak on top and in back a punk braid and the music it played. Then it turned my closet into a video arcade, so my socks ate my sandals and my boots shot my shirts and my embroidered Indian cotton shriveled up on its shelf and my faithful old wraparound curled in upon itself. By the fifth day, outrageous but true, it demanded its own phone and it talked until 2. By the sixth day, it had tattooed its cheek. Then when I complained, it called me a geek, and needless to say, by the end of the week, if I wanted to wear it, which would be silly because it was much too strange for me, but if I did want to wear it, if I didn't know better, if I did want to try it, I'd have to borrow the sweater. Now getting more modern. This is called the Virgin Poem. No, I will not read you my poem, although it's the best one I've written in years, because it's brand new, unpublished, unheard of, original, and absolutely private. No one has ever seen this shy, blushing poem ever before, except me, and even I've not yet undressed it completely, and I expect it to win me a prize or two maybe, like the prettiest two-headed calf at the Lane County Fair this upcoming year. But if I were to share it with you now, as if it were just any everyday, not just written this morning, but carefully composed eons ago, already long published, frequently shared, everybody knows it, that sort of poem, as if it had been baking naked in the raging hot sun of public exposure year after year for a decade or more, and become from exposure all dried out and wrinkled, and if you were to find its exquisite incorporation of exotic and sensual meticulously woven in amongst everyday phrases, and yet absolutely original combination of just the right words, honestly expressing my deepest emotions, vaguely familiar, because you'd actually heard them before, right here, right now, right out in the open, completely uncovered, naked as a hairless chihuahua, yipping and yapping amongst the hot dog stands and the African jugglers and the Eugenian slug queens parade and the crepes and the smoothies and the sugar-dipped elephant ears. Well, just imagine. Here we lie, hand in hand in the feathery nest of our literary wedding night. And you're thinking, oh no, not that one again. I've heard it before. This one is called You Are Superstitious. You are superstitious, she says, and I tell her, yes, I am. I believe everything. Shuffle my cards, come up with the jester of spades. And then, on my way to teach yoga class that very next morning, there in the River Road bicycle lane, a silver-skinned Bible. Somebody lost out of their pack, I suppose. And after the class, which was disappointingly small, a whitewater rafting adventure came up by surprise. A treat from my friend who kept saying all through the waves and the splashing and the spinning and the laughing and the shouting, "Now you owe me." Clearly she would have preferred my refusal, but I like to get presents. And this Bible, a gift from above or a loan from below. Truth is, it was kind of well used, you might say, and covered in dust from the road and the summer's drought. But then that same day, $2,000 fell into my lap. Before I could quite catch my breath, it had dropped to the floor and rolled under the rug. But then, while I was standing confused, a bit shaken, under a very tall apple tree, this near-perfect apple just missed my head. So I kept it around for a while, and then took it home, where I cooked it up into Apfel in Schlafrock, which are Viennese fritters that my mom used to make. But to get to the heart of the matter, I mean, should I or not hang on to this Bible, which I did somewhat reluctantly list in the local classified lost and found, and whose grateful or ungrateful owner might soon enough demand its return? God knows I've been reading its sonnets and getting turned on. Men. This poem is in a series of poems I'm writing about body parts. So it's called Men. It's common knowledge men cause trouble. My kids will vouch for that, I'm sure. But this one, well, he surely did. So let me make it perfectly clear once and for all, he was not ever a lover. Just a friend, a good guy truly, very talented, annoying in his way, but moral beyond the general run of things. He chose to live discreetly in the public park, rent-free, because he couldn't bear to be a part of the evil system, which was rapidly, to his mind then, to ours now too, bringing the world to an end. He came to my house just for showers, which was fine, although he tracked great puddles through the rooms, and I, you see, often waded through them foolishly, barefoot, which explains why, despite the fact that I was not an athlete, and spent very little time back then in locker rooms, my toes began to itch, my nails to grow ungodly thick, and every treatment that I tried year after year after year always failed, and so it goes. My children grown and gone to the ends of the earth, my lovers either dead or drifted off like autumn leaves, here the violin begins to whine, and nothing left of all of that, except this god-awful digital itch. And my daughter-in-law, when I make my yearly visit, do not touch Grandma's feet. And so they put the polish up, and shamed I hide my scaly toes. One last poem. This poem is truly a metaphor, don't take it too literally. It's my response to the fact that I have a niece who wrote a novel with me as a character in it, and showed me the manuscript, to which I was absolutely horrified. And, this is what I wrote. Pussy shots. Excuse me, dear. You know that I take pictures all the time. And while you slept last night, I took one of your crotch. I knew you wouldn't mind, and lucky for me, you sleep without your underwear. I'll call this shot the source of life. Just like that famous painting. You remember the one we saw in Paris some years back. Your puffy, unshaved pussy oozing just a little bit. God knows what you were dreaming. And anyhow, it's not the only time, you know. I've been following your nighttime crotch, I must admit, for, well, the past 10 years or so. Ever since that day you took your panties off in public. I've got a suitcase full of pussy shots of yours. I thank you for them. And now I plan to put them in a show. All the faculty invited. So I'm showing you my best ahead of time, which I've been keeping secret all these years, and looking for your blessing, dear. And when I win first prize, which I know my work deserves, my photos will be hung in every gallery in town, in time in every town on earth. They'll be on every website, everywhere online. I cannot thank you, dear, enough for posing for me, if only accidentally. I want to bring you to my opening. We'll sip champagne together, you and I, the artist and her medium. As Rama said to Brother Lakshman, you are the flagpole to my flag. To my ship you are the sea. I thank you, darling, infinitely. And for today, have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's have another round of applause for Joan Dobbie. Well, thank you all for being here. Let's see, it's 2:30, just about perfect time. All right, so we're going to go right into our next reader. Before we do that, let me just make our public service announcement again. We are having a raffle drawing.